Well, a very good morning from the Norwegian Spirit. Welcome back on board, guys. We're still in Alaska and we've got a fun day planned here in Juneau. But first, breakfast in the buffet. So let's head up, get some coffee, some food, and then get off. Bless David, he's finding these early mornings very difficult, so he's not going to talk the first portion. He needs coffee. It is very busy this morning, so we came and got a seat out at the back where there's loads of seats. And it's not too cold, actually. Buffet selection pretty good. We've shown you it all before. I went for a bit of everything this morning. I'm going to do a DIY sandwich with a muffin. So let's get this straight away and put it in my mouth. That's as dry as the Sahara Desert. That's the muffin, that is. But it's breakfast dessert time. My favourite time of the day. I saw these cheeky little cinnamon swirls and I could not resist. So let's get my mouth around one. Oh, that's one way to wake up in the morning, isn't it? A mouthful of sugar. Yum-y.
Like my ancestors before me, I'm going to make a McMuffin.
David, are you allowed to do that? I'm not sure the Americans like us messing with their biscuits.
Well, if you didn't know, my great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was absolutely nothing to do with McDonald's. I don't really care, to be honest.
Oh, David.
Oh, God, I've squirted everywhere.
That was a mouthful of fun right there.
Oh, no, it's all gone wrong. I've got a sucky biscuit. It's not worth the mess, guys. Don't do it. Just go and get yourself a pre-made one.
I think on this cruise, we want to spend as much time as we can outside. That's why we even like having breakfast outside. Especially love the back area of the ship. It's called Spice H2O, and it's been completely revitalized in the big makeover. This used to be a kids area with slides and things like that. Now it's a lovely adults only area, 2 hot tubs, a large pool as well. Lots of seating out here, comfortable sun lounges. It is really lovely and it's the perfect place to spend time out in Alaska. That's what we love about the ship, so much outdoor space to stand. It never feels busy, even though the ship is completely full. There's so much room to stand and look around. It's fantastic. There's views everywhere. Let's get off the ship, shall we? So do you know where we are, guys? We're in Juneau. It's the capital of Alaska. Wonderful, gorgeous, very short walk into the city by the looks of it. So let's go and have a little explore before our shore excursion. So we booked this as a third-party shore excursion. We'll let you know all of the details later on, but let's head off into Juneau. Juneau is what's gonna happen. I promise that's the last one. So we booked this tour through alaskashoreexcursions.com, and the company that we're going with are called Alaska Whale Tails, and they're literally just opposite where you get off the cruise ship. We've just spoken to the lovely guy and he's gave us instructions about where to meet later on. We're going on a whale watching tour as well as seeing the Mendenhall Glacier, which is going to be awesome. So we're so excited for today, and get some coffee. It's the one thing that we don't like about the Norwegian Spirit. Everything else we have absolutely loved. It's been fantastic, but the coffee is god awful. So let's go find some good coffee, shall we? So first impressions of Juneau. Wow, well, it's very, very different to our last 2 ports of call. Very much more commercialized and built up. It feels a lot like Norway, actually, we were just saying. It does feel like a Norwegian port. But yeah, very different. It doesn't have the charm that the other 2 ports have had so far. It feels more much like a city, which obviously what it is. But we're not going to be spending much time in the city today, but it is a nice short walk. It's just 5 minutes into here, so super easy.
We're looking for coffee, but I think we've just walked into an office block. It's very strange. Is this the mall?
I don't know.
Super weird. It's called The Wharf. And apparently there is coffee in here, but I haven't got my hopes up. So after our little adventure into the big blue building, which did have the feel of a community centre in there, there was a little crack in the wall, a wee little hole, and through that hole was this magical little thing called coffee. We found the coffee shop, the Glacier Coffee Company, got ourselves a nice little coffee. They were really lovely in there as well. We were chatting. They had an interesting drink on there called the London Fog, which we had to ask about, with Earl Grey tea. Now, I do have to say, I might get shouted at in the comments for this, but I don't think people in the UK really drink Earl Grey tea. It's just the stuff we sell to the Americans. Let me know in the comments, though, if you do like Earl Grey. I'm sorry if you do, but I prefer my coffee instead. Cheers.
And the coffee is absolutely delicious. Remember, wherever you go, support your coffee dealer. Ooh, yum. Wow, the ravens here are huge. I don't know what they feed them here in Alaska. I think they're having their Weetabix at least twice a day. But they're huge, they're massive, big black birds. They're crazy. They look really mean as well. There's some seaplanes coming in behind us as well. That'd be an amazing thing to do.
We've got about an hour until our tour meets on the dock. So we're gonna have a little walk into the town and see what there is to do here in Juneau. See what life is like here in the cold frontier. Might find a bear, an otter, probably not. Just probably a Diamonds International and a Harley Davidson store.
Welcome to these, them, their parts. We're here in the out west of Alaska, the new frontier. Welcome, people.
Right, Elvis.
He's not from here, is he?
But you sounded like him.
Oh, was that not like a good frontier accent? Oh, sorry. So yes, right next to the cruise port, literally a 2-minute walk away, there is a bunch of shops and restaurants, lots of diamonds, lots of jewelry, that sort of thing. Lots of places to get all of your souvenirs from Alaska here as well. And it is literally just a 2-minute walk, which is really nice. So if you just want to pop over and grab something before or after a tour, this is the perfect place to do that. That's one thing we've really enjoyed about Alaska so far. All of the ports are very close to where the actual city is, so it's fantastic. It's only a few minutes walk anywhere. Oh, bear hugs. I like bears. Oh, Mr. Bear, you are comfortable. Thanks for letting me sit on you. The bears here are very, very considerate. Let you sit on them. I would like a new toy plane, and I would like some chocolate, please, Santa Bear. Santa Bear.
My bear's bigger and fluffier than yours, Ben. Oh, settle down, settle down.
So we've grabbed a few souvenirs for our family in the Alaska T-shirt company, or the Alaska Shirt Company, whilst we wait for our tour. We've got about 20 minutes now. Super excited about this, going to see some whales. I want to see lots of whales today, so let's do this. Let's go find out where we've got to meet. Just by the port as well, you've got the Golden Belt Tram, which is like a funicular up a mountain, but it is very expensive, $50 each. Quite pricey, and it isn't that high really. I would save that for other ports if I was you. Too much for me to pay. I'm sorry, I'm not paying $100 for me and David to do a 3-minute journey. It's not gonna happen. Oh guys, only one more port left after this. This 16-night cruise has went so quick. If you haven't watched our other episodes, including Hawaii, please go back and watch them. We had such an amazing time, and we hope that we captured all of the beauty as much as we can for you to see. So do watch them. It's been such a fantastic cruise. It genuinely probably is my favorite cruise of all time. Really love the ship as well. The Norwegian Spirit is just spectacularly gorgeous. They did a fantastic job with her huge makeover. And Alaska and Hawaii have been fulfilled lifelong dreams. Feel very happy to be here, and it's been fan-blummentastic. But there's still more to come, so let's go on this tour. Ooh, so it looks like we're getting on a green bus to start our tour. This bus is fancy. It's a school bus that's green. So we've got onto a real-life American school bus. I feel like I'm in a movie. But one thing, kids are a lot smaller than adults, so it's hard to fit in these seats. The leg room is somewhat limited because I am not a children. But yeah, we're in a school bus. It's like being in a movie. This is awesome. And we're going to like drive across the Golden Gate Bridge and fall off the end. So welcome to the Mendenhall Glacier. It was about a 5-10 minute drive out of town, and we're here. We're just going to have a look around and wander around some of the trails. The first sign said there might be mud sinking, so we've got to watch out for that for sure. But yeah, first impressions is that this is spectacular. It's so quiet and lovely. The air is so fresh. There's icebergs out there as well, which is so awesome. But we're going to try and navigate ourselves around to find the best view of the glacier, because we are super up close compared to the sailing the other day. So if you don't want to get muddy, it does involve a little bit of rock hopping and walking over rocks. Steph just walked straight through the mud.
This is a proper expedition. Just making my way across the rocks. Made sure I brought some proper walking shoes, and I'm so happy I get to use them for this. I've walked myself into a trap. How do I get out of here? This is absolutely gorgeous. We're actually at sea level with the glacier, so you can really take in how vast and spectacular it is. Absolutely stunning. There you go. I've touched Alaskan glacier water, and it's cold, obviously. Shock horror there.
This surface is something like an alien landscape. It's very strange. It's all mud. And the little wet mud over there looks super appetizing. I just want to like dive in it and like get a big handful of just put it all over my face. And it looks lovely. It's super smooth, delicious mud, just how you like it on your face.
But there are really nice trails here, but because we only have 40 minutes here, we don't have time. So if you are a hiker or if you like a nature walk, definitely recommend coming here, maybe just doing it by yourself and giving yourself plenty of time, because with 40 minutes, we need to start heading back to the bus already. It's just not long enough.
So here's our bus. Let's go some whale watching, shall we? So we're here at the dock, and the sun has got his hat on and came out to say hello. You excited, David?
Yeah, let's go and see if we can spot some whales and maybe some other wildlife as well. just like we like to see, the boat looks nice and small. We love smaller groups because you get much more opportunity to be able to see everything and you don't feel like you've been cramped onto a boat with 600 other people.
So we're on the boat and it's lovely. I think it holds about 50 people, but there's only about 15 of us, so we're in for a treat with having so much space. Let's go whale hunting. Whale watching, not hunting. We're not hunting any whales. We're going to watch some whales.
So full speed ahead to go and see the whales. And we've also got snacks as well. Good, because I'm blooming starving.
Right, keeping my eyes peeled for some whale action. We've already seen a sea otter, far too fast to film, they're too small. The water is beautiful though, it's like crystal glass. It's the perfect whale watching weather. We are so lucky.
We've already spotted our first whale. We'd caught just a glimpse of them until they dived down and we weren't quick enough. So we're keeping our eyes peeled again for another spout. So they've just gone down to feed, so it'll probably be about 5 minutes until we see them again. And the guys on the boat have said that this one could pop up anywhere. It's been all over the place. So we're looking out for that spout. Not only whales, but we've got sea lions as well. We heard them before we saw them. They are so loud, you can hear them all on the rocks. There's absolutely loads of them.
They're amazing, wow.
Absolutely amazing. It's so cool to get so close to the nature.
So we are back from our tour. Overall, if I'm completely honest, a little bit disappointed. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see very much at all whale-wise. We got to see one whale and for a very, very short amount of time until we hopped over to go see those sea lions, which was really cool, and we got to see some lovely scenery as well. The tour was $200 each almost. That's a lot of money, almost $500 for two of us for just a few hours. And overall, we don't feel like we got a massive value for money from it, if you know what I mean. It's a little bit lackluster. There wasn't much narration or anything like that from the crew on the bus or on the boat, so we were kind of just left for 45 minutes while going between locations, and we spent most of that tour looking for the sea lions, which was odd because it was a whale watching tour and we only spent about 5 minutes with that particular whale that we did see. We would have liked to have spent more time with it. So I think the thing that surprised us most about Alaska, and something that you really need to consider when booking an Alaskan cruise, is the cost. Now, whilst the cost of our cruise might have been quite normal compared to a lot of other cruises, what's cost us a lot of money on an Alaskan cruise, and it has surprised us, are the shore excursions. And whilst you're in port in general, obviously this is the United States and it's a port area, so very touristy. In general, on land, everything is very expensive. So the shops, if you want to eat, if you want to have a drink, they're all very expensive to drink and eat here. So you've got to bear that in mind when booking your cruise and taking budgets into consideration. But by far the biggest cost of all are the shore excursions, whether you choose to book one on the ship themselves or if you choose to use a third party like us. If you want to do anything interesting, more than just walking around the port area, which we don't recommend, we definitely recommend going to see all of that amazing wildlife and nature, but it is going to come with a huge cost. The cost of these excursions are very, very expensive. On average, we're spending $200 to $300 per day each. So on a 7-night cruise, this can cost up to $2,000-$3,000. So it can actually cost more than the cruise itself. So do make sure you budget that. Whilst the excursions we have done on the whole have been absolutely amazing, they do come with a high cost. There's some amazing tours as well, which you can do. You can go sledding with the dogs or on a helicopter, but these can cost in excess of $600 per person. So if you want to do all of these amazing once-in-a-lifetime things, make sure you budget for it because it is very expensive, much more expensive than going to the Caribbean or the Mediterranean where you can just look around or go sit on a beach. Here you're going to want to be in the wilderness, seeing those glaciers, seeing the bears, seeing the whales, but just make sure you budget.
And one thing that is really important is to research the companies that you're booking your tours with. If you aren't going to be spending a lot of money, you want to make sure that you're getting a really good excursion and something that you're going to really enjoy.
And as we usually do, we recommend going with a third party if you can, just because you can save huge amounts of money compared to ship-booked shore excursions. Ship-booked shore excursions, you're usually in a big coach full of 50, 60 people, so you are herded around like sheep. We much prefer booking with tour operators that run small tours. Anyway, we're going to head back on the ship and we're going to see you tomorrow in our next port of Ketchikan. And a very good morning. We are in Ketchikan today. Now, I say Ketchikan very loosely because what we didn't know is that Norwegian don't pay to dock in Ketchikan. They have their own dock and it's about 10, 12 miles away from Ketchikan. So we're not actually going to go into Ketchikan today. We're going to go straight onto our shore excursion, which is a bit of a shame. Other cruise lines do dock in Ketchikan, but Norwegian were a bit cheap and thought, do you know what? We're going to be the Ryanair of the cruise ships and take you to Barcelona, but really not Barcelona, Girona. If you know, you know. But yeah, we're here and we're excited, so let's go on our amazing shore excursion today. Hopefully it's going to be a good one.
Today we're going on a Misty Fjord excursion. We booked this through Norwegian Cruise Line. The reason we did that is because we are out of season, there wasn't really any third-party operators operating from this port. Plus, because we have quite a short day in port today, all aboard is 5 o'clock, and this excursion is going to get us back at 5 o'clock. So because we booked it through the cruise line, it does mean that the ship will wait for us. So that's why we booked through Norwegian. It was a little bit more expensive, so hopefully we get our value for money with it.
But one redeeming factor is that they provide a complimentary shuttle to Ketchikan, so you can get there for free, which we do really appreciate. And the last one back is 3:30, so that's quite a bit earlier than all aboard time, so you're not going to get much time in Ketchikan, unfortunately, just because we're so far away.
Guys, we have to be truthful. We lied. We've never been to Alaska. We're actually in a studio in Southampton.
No, we're not.
No, we're not. Does it look like a film set? Because it's like all these rocks and things inside.
So just after you leave the port area, you come into this huge building and it has loads of stuff here. This is where we're going to meet our tour group. Lots of souvenirs, and the stuff feels really high quality actually. There's a cafe for snacks and all sorts, so you can get set before you get off. So if you're just wanting to get off and buy some souvenirs, here's your place. Now, first up, because we skipped breakfast this morning, we've got some chocolate chip cookies and snacks for the road because it's a long tour, so we want to be prepared.
So despite the fact that this is actually far away from Ketchikan, the actual port area is really cute. There's tons of stores in here, and one of the cute things is that the toilets are made out of old train carriages. Treat yourself on the rails. You can have a tinkle on the train. Well, inside they're kind of just like a regular restroom, so they're kind of disappointing on the inside. Are you jealous?
I'm very jealous, David. That looks amazing.
Ben went for a cookie now, went for the fruit tart. It's freaking good. I'm not sharing. This is all mine. Go on. Let's get on. I'm going to take a coach into the first part of our excursion. Misty Fjords, here we come. And that's not a drag queen. So for today's excursion, we're actually going to take the Sapphire Princess cruise ship. Going to hop on board there and do a little cruise, which is going to be really fun. And we're going to have dinner on there as well.
No, we're not, David.
So why have we come to the Sapphire Princess?
Oh, jeez. Well, David, because we're getting a boat from here, we're actually in Ketchikan now, and as you can see, Princess paid their dues and actually paid for a decent slot, so they can park right in front of Ketchikan. Anyway, the Sapphire Princess, she was one of our first princess ships. We had the most amazing cruise on her for 10 days. You can go all the way back and check out those episodes. She is such a lovely cruise ship, she really is, so it's nice to see her, and she's got some weird writing on the front saying, "I love this," which is a bit random. So we are on our way on our Misty Fjord and Wilderness Explorer tour. And it is such a beautiful day. The weather is gorgeous again, sunny skies, some great views of the two ships, Crown Princess and Sapphire Princess. Off we go.
We're getting a running commentary from the crew on board the ship as we leave here, as we leave Ketchikan. It's about an hour and a half journey to the fjord, but they're telling us a lot about what's around us, the history. So it's still really interesting. It's great at tours like this, especially if somebody local as well, so the guy who actually lives here, because it's great to hear a local's insight into day-to-day life here. So we've reached the Misty Fjord now, and we're on an animal spotting spree. Already we've seen a goat who was lonely on a high hill, and we're looking out for bears now. I don't think we've seen any yet. They are quite shy bears, but if we were to see them, this is where we'd spot them. And we're still keeping our eye out for any wildlife in the water, so any whales. Nothing quite yet. The scenery is spectacular, absolutely stunning. Beautiful green trees, snow-topped mountains. It is definitely like a fairy tale setting.
It is beautiful and very reminiscent of when we cruised around the Norwegian fjords. It's spectacular, lots of little waterfalls, peaks that go up to 3,000 feet around us. It's really gorgeous, very pretty indeed. It is a bit of a journey here, over an hour and a half by boat, but it's fabulous. So we've seen so much wildlife on our tour so far. We saw American bald eagles. We saw that white mountain goat, which was really, really cute as well. We also spotted an orca fighting with a couple of seals over a piece of log. We didn't get to see it too much because we moved off pretty quickly, but it was an amazing sight to see.
I tried to do a really cool shot.
Good acting, David. So we're going to head back now, back to port. We haven't had very long here, unfortunately, probably only about 20 minutes or so. And we did skip over some of the most amazing wildlife as well, which was the orca fighting with the seal. Unfortunately, we just went right by it and didn't stop, which is a little bit disappointing as well. But hey, we got to see some spectacular sights nonetheless. This is cruise life. You don't get long in every port, unfortunately. So back we go, another hour and a half journey back home. And just like that, we are back in the port of Ketchikan after an epic 6-hour tour. Gosh, so that's it for our time in Alaska. That went so quickly, and it was the quickest 16-night cruise of all time. We're back here in front of the beautiful Norwegian Spirit, and we're going to take you for some dinner. Well, hello and welcome to Onda by Scarpetta. This is the Italian restaurant on board. We've got all changed and ready for the evening, and we've already got our bread plate, and boy does it look nice. 3 different types of bread, 3 different dippings, including a nice cheese and a tomato dip. And we put our orders in. Really looking forward to this one.
Wow, so far impressed. The burrata, I ordered the burrata by the way, it looks absolutely beautiful. Big heirloom tomatoes, that is delicious. Creamy, soft, and really tangy as well with that sauce. Delicious.
Ooh, slice, baby. Oh my gosh, I went for the pizza. I basically got this as an appetizer instead of getting a few appetizers, and it looks spectacular. So it's a meat and cheese pizza with a ricotta stuffed crust. That's what those fancy little edges are. Right, let's have a little try. Well, slap me with a fish and call me disgusted, because that is freaking delicious. Yummy. Oh my gosh, definitely recommend the pizza. Super good.
So our main courses have come, and I got the tuna, which looks absolutely beautiful. It's cooked to medium, and they did say that is what they cook it to. Really tasty, really well seasoned as well. I really like all the vegetables with it. It is on the colder side. I don't know if it's supposed to be cold. If it is, then it's perfect. If not, it's a little cold. But the flavour is fantastic. And I also got the garlic mushrooms to go with it, which are freaking-licious. These are so good. Really garlicky and full of flavour.
And I went for something super simple, just the spaghetti with a tomato sauce. Nice and simple, that's what I really fancied today. Just pizza and pasta and some nice things. I also got a side of fingerling potatoes. Fingerling. And they're very good indeed. My pasta's even getting excited, she's wobbling about. Let's have a little taste. Super nice, super fresh, super hot. Really simple. It's just pasta and a tomato sauce with a bit of cheese on top. And it is delicious.
Dessert time. I'm full. That was a big meal, super delicious, but we still couldn't resist dessert. I went for the chocolate cake. Let's give this a go. Thick, rich, and absolutely delicious. If I was stuffed before, I'm thoroughly stuffed right now because that is so good. I can't stop eating it.
I got the butterscotch dessert, and it comes with some chocolate ice cream and some biscotti on the side as well. Let's just dig in there, shall we? Well, that is a mouthful of heaven right there. Caramelly, butterscotchy, chocolatey, all of the best words in the whole world. Delicious and a really good end to the meal. Really good meal here in Onda by Scarpetta. Forget my accent, by Scarpetta. You're going to see it quite angry, right? But it was really good, really nice meal. So we just went to see the comedian and he was really funny. The entertainment's been great. Now Alaska has been incredible. It has completely surpassed anything that we thought it would be. We genuinely thought it would be like a mini Norway or something like that, but it really isn't. It's such a beautiful and fantastic place to visit.
Now, I think we really did luck out with the weather. We had beautiful weather the whole time, but that's not always the case. We've heard from many of you, our subscribers, to say that they had sometimes, you know, quite bad weather to okay weather.
We were lucky.
Yeah, so you really do have to pack for that. We were lucky, we actually were quite warm on most of the days, but we do recommend that you do prepare for the weather. So bring a really good rain jacket, really good shoes that are waterproof, and also layers, because that is the best thing, because if you're too hot you can take a layer off, if you're too cold you can put a couple more layers on.
We just want to say a huge thank you for watching, and a massive thank you to our patrons as well. You too can find out about becoming a patron in the description section below. We give you things like extra behind the scenes episodes, early access and ad-free access to all of our videos, as well as a monthly Zoom call and much more. That's it till next time. Happy cruising!